shows the mighty five-masted, square-rigged German ship Preussen, the only five-masted, full-rigged ship ever built, and one of the largest and most sophisticated sailing ships in history. Launched on the 7th of May 1902, Preussen was one of the famous ships built and owned by the shipping company Leitz Ferdinand of Hamburg that became known as the Flying P liners. 482 foot long, she was almost twice the length of the Cutty Sark, could carry 8 times more cargo, but had a crew of only 48 compared with Cutty Sark's 35. In terms of tons of cargo to crew, therefore, she was incredibly efficient, an innovative masterpiece. The crew were helped in their mammoth task by 2 small steam engines housed just behind the foremast. These powered the capstan, loading gear, winches, water pumps and the rudder steering engine. Not only was Preussen's hull made of steel, but so too was most of her rigging and cables, yards and masts. Bowsprit, foremast, mainmast, middle mast, the Leitz mast, named after the owners, the mizzen mast. The only wooden spar on the entire ship was the gaff of the small spanker. The yards shared the same names, but each preceded by the names of its mast. Royal at the top, then upper topgallant, lower topgallant, upper topsail, lower topsail and course. The tubular steel yards varied in length from 93 feet for the courses to 49 feet for the royals, and the main masthead stood 174 feet above the main deck. Rigged in between these square sails, in line with the keel fore and aft, were triangular staysails. These did not harness wind for power, but were there to assist longitudinal balance or trim. They damped out rolling and enabled sail manoeuvres such as tacking. More triangular staysails, known as jibs, were set on the stays which ran from the foremast to the bowsprit. If all sails were set, she could carry an incredible area of canvas, 47 sails, that totalled 73,260 square feet. That's just slightly less than the size of the football pitch at Wembley Stadium. These sails had to be managed with the utmost care because the power they could create was immense, and a sudden change in the weather could endanger the ship itself. The sequence of setting a full set of sails ran like this. First, the 3 headsails, the 5 lower topsails, and the spanker. Next, the 5 upper topsails, then the lower topgallants, followed by the 5 courses. Next, the upper topgallants, followed by the royals. Finally, the intermast staysails and the outermost jib. In fine weather, carrying full sail, Preussen was capable of 20 knots, an astonishing speed for a vessel of her size. Due to her appearance, uniqueness and excellent sailing characteristics, seamen called her the Queen of the Sea. Under normal conditions, she carried all of her sail, but as the wind strengthened, she would reduce canvas. Beaufort 47 required the configuration shown here, but as wind strength increased to storm force 10, the area would be reduced still further, using only 4 of the 5 lower topsails to power her. Preussen excelled in hard weather and was even able to tack in force 9 winds, though in such conditions it did require 8 men to hold the 6.5-foot diameter double wheel. With such a reliable performance, she was employed in the trade in nitrate from South America, a chemical crucial for the making of fertilizer and gunpowder. Departing from Hamburg, she sailed for ports on the west coast of Chile in an average journey time of 65 days there and 70 for the return, slightly longer owing to the different wind direction. Preussen made 12 round trips to South America and 1 round-the-world voyage via New York and Yokohama. But on the evening of the 6th of November 1910 in the English Channel, she was struck by a cross-channel steamer which had misjudged the sailing ship's high speed and, against the rules, tried to cross in front of her. Preussen's bow and her foremast rigging was severely damaged, making it impossible for the great ship to steer. Several attempts to tow or sail her to safety failed, and so too attempts to drop her anchors. She was eventually driven onto the shore at Crab Bay in Kent, where she broke her keel on the submerged reefs. She can still be seen there today, one of the most innovative ships in history, broken on the seabed.